Craving the perfect holiday snack? Check out Farmer Bill's Biltong. Think beef jerky, but better. No sugar, no preservatives, just pure animal protein goodness. Crafted from premium grass-fed beef or bison and air-dried to perfection, Farmer Bill's Biltong is nutrient-packed, energy-dense, and perfect for an on-the-go treat or a standout snack for your next party. My favorite is the original bison, but the other flavors like the original beef, smokehouse, and spicy chili have me second-guessing that choice more than once. Visit FarmerBillsProvisions.com to grab a 1-pound slab or a variety pack and use code BIZBIT10 for 10% off. Farmer Bill's Biltong, don't be the 2-liter guy at this year's Christmas party.
This is a crazy story. There's an NBA player in the app that plays for a team that is close to where I live. And he invited me to the game, free tickets, post-game, courtside, pictures, all through Orangeville app. There is people in Capo Verde, which is an island in the coast of Africa, that had just met to Orangeville app, and they literally were on the same boat, going from onshore to offshore, and they both used the app, and they found each other on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Welcome to the Business Bitcoinization Show, the show dedicated to helping you enrich your life and grow your business with Bitcoin, the hardest money on planet Earth. I'm your host, Josh Friedemann, and our guest today is Matteo Pellegrini, who's the founder of Orange Pill app, a mobile app created by a group of Bitcoiners who thought there had to be a better way to connect with other Bitcoiners locally. If you like what you hear from Matteo and you want to join the Orange Pill app after listening to what he has to share, there's a referral link down in the show notes for you to do just that. Of course, before we get to our interview with Matteo, we have this week's Bitcoin Meetup Spotlight, and this week it's the Northwest Arkansas Bitcoiners. Northwest Arkansas Bitcoin is working to grow a Bitcoin community in their region. Their group exists for everyone, from people who've been around for several cycles to someone who's just overheard them talking during a meetup. They have a standing meetup on the third Tuesday of every month, but they also hold deep dive sessions. These sessions are used to educate attendees on custody best practices, privacy tools, supporting the local economy, and home mining. Some exciting things coming up include a Beef Initiative Micro Summit in Prairie Grove, a game night featuring Hodl Up by Free Market Kids, and a self-custody workshop. You can find all the information you need to on their site, nwabitcoin.org, and follow them on Twitter at nwabitcoin. Those links are down below, and if you're looking to find a meetup in your area, I encourage you to download the Oshi app, where you'll be able to do just that. Also, in light of today's conversation, you can do the same with the Orange Pill app. Now, we're going to get to our conversation with Matteo right after this. Business owners, unlock the benefits Bitcoin has to offer your business with the Bitcoin for Business Quick Start Guide. This 27-page guide highlights the 6 ways you can grow your business with Bitcoin. Check it out in the show notes. Matteo, welcome to the podcast.
Joshua, thanks for the invite. I'm glad to be here.
So I like to start off every single interview with a few questions that help us to get to know you a little bit better and give us some insight for our own lives. So you ready for these?
Let's do it.
When and how did you first learn about Bitcoin?
The first time I heard about Bitcoin is 2012. The first time I've learned about it, 2018. It took me 6 years between heard and learn.
And between that time, were you paying attention to it at all? Or was it one of those things where you just heard about it passing in a conversation, it didn't really stand out to you, and then 2018 comes around and it's a different story?
Well, I started paying attention kind of seriously in 2017, bull run, 20,000, blah, blah. But yeah, seriously learning, studying the rabbit hole, it's with the Bitcoin Standard book, which came out, I think, summer 2018. That's when I really started learning about it. Before that, heard about it, call it a scam, never bought it, told people not to buy it. So that's my original sin.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the story for a lot of us. We thought we knew better and then find out a little bit more about it. Question number 2 is this. What's an insight or fact about Bitcoin that you wish everyone understood?
So one thing I think is very unique about Bitcoin is the first time in history that it's a monetary system that literally anybody can use on Earth. Black people, white people, rich people, poor people, African people, people in London, Asia, anybody. There's no, literally, it's the first time that all you need is a internet connection, a computer or a phone, and you can participate to this network and send value across. It's quite mind blowing when you think about it. It never existed before. Because even with gold, you still have to find the gold and trust that you're really getting gold, and you couldn't send it anyway. So that's, I think, it's very unique.
And question 3 is this: what's the Bitcoin resource that you most recommend to other people?
Well, books. I mean, there's a lot of great books by now about Bitcoin. Bitcoin Standard, for sure. It's like, it's a kind of like the Bible when it comes to Bitcoin. In terms of podcasts, I think anything Michael Saylor, any podcast from Michael Saylor, it's what I usually recommend to new entrants. Like, if you don't know anything about Bitcoin, go listen to Michael Saylor.
Yeah. So just for a little bit of context, what got me into Bitcoin to like really understand it for the first time was the Saylor series with Robert Breedlove's podcast, the What Is Money Show. Is there a particular podcast, or do you basically just say anything that Saylor's saying, find him anywhere and it's going to be gold?
Yeah, usually I just say go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and just type Michael Saylor Bitcoin, and just, it doesn't really matter. He's so consistent in terms of delivery. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely the What Is Money show with Breedlove and Saylor, but it's very long. If you're new to Bitcoin, I shouldn't start there. I think it's way too much. I think his appearance on Tucker Carlson's show, it was really good because it was a very mainstream audience. I think that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, I actually hadn't really thought about that as a great resource to send people. But I feel like for at least a good chunk of people in the United States, Tucker Carlson, if Tucker Carlson has someone on, then people are willing to listen. So that's one of his appearances that I hadn't thought of recommending before, but I might start doing that going forward. But question number 4 here is, beyond Bitcoin, what is a resource, tool, or idea that's been helpful to you or your business recently?
Well, tools, I think if you have an online business, you should automate as much as possible, which is Zapier, which I'm sure everybody knows by now, but Zapier is really like, it saves you a lot of time. In terms of like ideas, there's so many books on business, but yes, there is one that everybody that runs a business or wants to run a business, in my opinion, should read, which is called, it's a very small book. It's called The 22 Laws of Immutable Marketing. It was written in the 80s. And it's every page in that book is a business lesson.
So question number 5 is this. We call it our arbitrary but insightful question. As a general life principle, is it better to ask why or why not?
It might be the same. It might be exactly the same thing that you're asking. Depends who you're asking to. I don't really know. For me, like, maybe I would ask, I think why not is more important, because you want to find the resistance and then work around it.
Meet Linkster, your premier Bitcoin-focused advisor. Linkster caters to businesses, institutions, family offices, and high-net-worth individuals. They merge your unique financial goals and needs with Linkster's Bitcoin expertise to craft your own sustainable plan to preserve and grow the value of your hard-earned profits and retained earnings. At Linkster, it's not just advice, it's tailored execution. Connect directly with the founder by visiting linkster.com. That's LYNCSTER.com. Linkster. Secure your future with Bitcoin. Today's episode of Business Bitcoinization is proudly brought to you by Velis Commerce, where the future of business technology meets Bitcoin. As we journey through the era of Bitcoin and its transformational impact on businesses, there's one name that stands out: Velis Commerce. Whether you're looking to build a cutting-edge website, a seamless mobile app, or custom software, Velis is your go-to team. They've been diving deep into the world of Bitcoin since 2014, making them one of the most experienced groups for integrating Bitcoin and Lightning payments into a variety of digital platforms. But here's what truly sets them apart. Velis Commerce doesn't just build. They bring a wealth of knowledge to ensure your project's success from day one. Their team understands the nuances of Bitcoin, ensuring that your business stays ahead of the curve. And for all business Bitcoinization listeners out there, Velis Commerce is offering a free consultation to kickstart your project the right way. So if you're ready to future-proof your business in the coming age of hyper-Bitcoinization, head over to veliscommerce.com or reach out on Twitter at veliscommerce. Let's make sure your business thrives in the Bitcoin era. Well, Matteo, we're here today to talk about your business, your app, the Orange Pill app. You're bringing Bitcoiners together. Could you share with us, first of all, just a little bit about the business, what you've done so far, and maybe why you decided to start building it in the first place?
So Orange Pill app is a networking app for Bitcoiners. It pretty much has two unique features that you won't find anywhere else. One is the paywall. So everybody has to pay to get in, which obviously has a lot of advantages. Reduce the noise. Pretty much eliminates the noise, increase the signal. From a business standpoint, it's really good because you find out quickly if you actually have a business or not. Because asking everybody to pay to use your product or service is the best way to find out if you actually have a business. And then the second piece of Orange Pill app is the geolocation, which is approximate. So only 10 miles radius. But so you combine these two things, and now we have a unique network where you only find people that are high signal, low noise, and you can find them locally. So that's pretty much Orange Pill app. Why did I build this? Well, because I wanted to be more Bitcoiners where I was, and there was no way for me to do it, even though I live in Santa Monica, which is a highly densely populated area. Still, it's hard to find Bitcoiners because they don't go to meetups. 95% of people don't go to meetups. Conference is like once a year, who knows where. So there was not an easy way to find Bitcoiners nearby, and which is why I started asking myself, what would be the best, easiest way to find people nearby? And they're in the same group that you're looking for, and mobile app, geolocation, plus paywall. That's my solution, at least.
And I will say that there is a lot of hunger for Bitcoiners to be spending time with other Bitcoiners. Depending on where you are, it can feel like a very lonely thing. The last meetup that we had locally, the meetup that I go to, we had someone travel 3 to 4 hours. He
Wow.
looked up Bitcoin meetups in Mississippi, and he found us, knew none of us, traveled 3 to 4 hours and had a good time. It was funny because he actually took a picture. He said, I want to prove that there are other Bitcoiners out there. I know some Bitcoiners who don't like their picture taken, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, there are people who want to spend time with other Bitcoiners, other people who are thinking some of the same thoughts and listening to some of the same resources or reading the same books. So because of that, I guess my question to you is, did you find other Bitcoiners using the app, and what have some of the other users said about their experience so far, finding Bitcoiners and getting to know them, spending time with them, networking with them?
Yes, I actually have. Now I don't live in Santa Monica anymore. I live in a 10,000 people village in north of California. And I've met, even in this small village, I've met 2 people from the app, which has only been live for 100 days, by the way. And 30 days so 100 days on iOS and 30 days on Android. I found 2 people. We meet once a week. We go to meetups together. It's amazing. Actually, I found, this is a crazy story. There's an NBA player in the app that plays for a team that is close to where I live. And he invited me to the game, free tickets, post-game, courtside, pictures, all through Orange Pill app in 100 days, which I think is pretty amazing. The story you just said is exactly why we're building this app, right? Because people want to, this shouldn't be a surprise. We are a social animal. We want to be with people like us, especially if you're in Bitcoin, which is if you're not in Bitcoin, it could be a very controversial subject. All the energy problem and the scams and the fraud, whatever people outside of Bitcoin think about Bitcoin. So if you're in Bitcoin, you're really into a group that it's hard to relate to people that are outside the group. And so it's more needed. So this problem of how do I find more people in this group? It's quite large. It's quite a big problem, which is why the guy drove 3 hours. He would not drive 3 hours to go to a tennis meetup or a Tesla meetup or you name it.
And I love what you just shared about the NBA player, because I feel like in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is this leveling ground where we have different, status symbols, different positions we consider higher status and lesser, lower status. But the truth is, when a Bitcoiner finds another Bitcoiner, you can give all sorts of reasons for this, but there's like this immediate connection, and there are other things in life like that, but they're very few. It's a really very interesting thing. And maybe, do you have any other stories like that from users' feedback about connections that they've made just over the last 100 days of the app being online?
Oh yeah, there's so many stories. Well, first of all, although Orangeville app is not a dating app.com, but of course, there's been already dating activities, and I've promised my team that I will go to the first wedding that is generated between Orangeville app users, which is going to happen at some point, but just the first one. Even if it's like in New Zealand, I will still have to go. So dating, there's a little bit of dating, of course. There are people that took flight. There's a pilot. There's a pilot instructor in the app, and he's giving flight lessons, maybe for free. I don't know if it's for free, to other people through Orangeville app. There is people in Capo Verde, which is an island in the coast of Africa, that I just met to Orangeville app, and they literally were on the same boat going from onshore to offshore, and they both used the app, and they found each other on a boat in the middle of the ocean. It's quite incredible that this is only 100 days, and we have 3,000 users. So I can only imagine in like 300 days, 500 days, 600 days.
Where do you see this going in the future? Is it just scaling up the Orangeville app to be bigger and bigger? I just kind of want to know, like, what does the future of the app look like for you?
So we are about to launch the events section of the app, which means think about meetup.com or into Orangeville app that is Bitcoin related. So all the meetups, all the conferences, all of that. Even if you want to, let's say you want to have a dinner with Bitcoiners, you can organize it through the app. And you can sell tickets to your event in the app, which is pretty cool. Paying sats, non-KYC, non-custodial. But yeah, the vision of Orangeville app is quite simple, which is every interaction there is offline is going to end up being through Orangeville app. So you get online, Twitter, Zoom calls, podcasts, and then you have offline, meetups, dating, friendship, networking, conference, whatever. Every offline interactions will be generated from Orangeville app or will be in Orangeville app. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the vision. Or to put it in a simple way, it's building the social layer of Bitcoin globally.
So people are probably interested in joining the app from what you've said so far. You mentioned that there's a paywall. Do you have to pay to be a part of the app in any way, or is there just a certain part that you have to pay for?
The whole app is paywall. You cannot get in if you don't pay. Simple. There is no freemium levels. You pay, you get in. You don't pay, you don't get in. Simple as that.
And I guess you've had this clear proof of concept because you have thousands of people already on the app within the first 100 days, and it's a profitable venture for you. What does it cost to be a part of the app?
So the monthly is very cheap. It's $3 a month. And so in the West, it's $3 a month. In the global South, it's like $1 a month. So it's very cheap. The only place on earth where it's free is El Salvador. So if you're in El Salvador, the app is completely free because we want to encourage people. We want to support the El Salvador experiment. And then you can have so that's a monthly, you can have a yearly membership, you can have a lifetime membership, and you can pay in sats to the website, and you can be a Giga Chat, which I kind of like sponsor for the El Salvador. But yeah, so not only we have a lot of users, we also have, I think this got to be a record. We have more than 100 5-star reviews on the App Store and Google Play Store. This goes back to the paywall, which is a filter. So you only get with the paywall, we only get the user that really believe in the mission, that really believe in the concept. And so as a result of that, they're invested in the product. They're invested in the network. Yeah, it's quite amazing when you think about it.
I'm interested to know as well about whether or not you vet people. Obviously, there can't be too much vetting probably in the process, but do you try to keep the broader crypto quote unquote community out of this, or is it like, hey, if you're willing to pay $3 a month, come on in?
I mean, we don't vet anybody. We can't vet anybody. We don't do KYC, and it would make no sense. The vetting is the paywall. It's the paywall.
Yeah.
And our entire marketing is Bitcoin related. We obviously we don't discourage people to join. In fact, I have spoke to, obviously as a founder, I try to speak to as many customers, to as many users as possible, though now it's impossible, there's too many. But I spoke to users that they were kind of like crypto this, crypto that. And basically, once you get into Orange Pill app, you are surrounded by Bitcoin Maxi. So even if you are not convinced on Bitcoin, you're going to end up being Orange Pill, because everybody you talk to, it's a Bitcoin Maxi. So I have literally Orange Pill people in Orange Pill app that were not Bitcoiner. They were like, oh, I mine this, I mine that. But it's quite amazing. It's a very beautiful, kind of like a private club where you can join. And once you get in, everybody in there is helping you, whether to learn more about Bitcoin, whether to become friends or business partner, whatever it may be, or even take you down the rabbit hole.
So you mentioned that there is a lifetime subscription. What does that cost right now?
So lifetime is in fiat, it's $100. And in sats, it's cheaper. It's 300,000 sats, which as of today is probably like $65. I mean, we don't care about dollars anyway. So 300,000 sats if you go to the sats, or $100 if you go in fiat. Then you pay once, you're in forever. All the features that we're building a lot of features. The events, the marketplace, the referral, the non-store integration, a lot of stuff we're building. You pay once and you get all the features. There's no limits. There's no freemium. There's no restriction models.
I asked you to be on the show not knowing too much about the Orange Pill app. I am really excited about the future here, though. So I appreciate you sharing today. Do you have any final thoughts, reflections as a business owner who's just gotten a business off the ground, or just final thoughts for Bitcoiners about the Orange Pill app and what you're doing?
Do I have thoughts about being a business owner? Well, this is not my first time, thankfully, because I don't think it would be doing as well as I've been doing. But yeah, if you're in business, it's obviously very difficult. I think what I see from other founders in Bitcoin world is that they're scared of charging the user, which obviously is the opposite of Orange Pill app. And I encourage people to go ahead and charge your users and find out if what you're building is really needed or not. Then that's a really good lesson. If you're in Bitcoin, or if you're learning about Bitcoin and you want to meet more Bitcoiners, which I think we all do, join Orange Pill app, sign up, pay so you don't get any noise, any bots, scam or spam, no ads, no tracking, none of that. And just go and meet more Bitcoiners.
Well, Matteo, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Well, friends, it's a wrap. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Business Bitcoinization Show. If you want to reach out to either me or Matteo, you can find our links down in the show notes. And if you want to check out the Orange Pill app for yourself, you can find that link in the show notes as well. As always, keep building, keep growing, and until next time, keep living and leading well. If you're a regular listener of the podcast, thank you. If you want to take a further step in your support for the show, you can help us grow by listening on Fountain, a value-for-value podcast app on iOS or Android. If you hear something you like that you disagree with or anything else, you can share it by sending some sats and adding a comment with your thoughts. Some of you have already done this, and I appreciate it. I'm going to begin reading your boosts on upcoming episodes, so if you have some insight or value to add, let the people know. Getting started with Fountain is easy. You can add Bitcoin to your Fountain wallet by using your fiat accounts or any Lightning wallet. And one of my favorite features is that once you're using the app, you can earn sats just by listening on Fountain. Check out the link in the show notes to get started with Fountain today.